So it's been 2 or 3 weeks now since Trump took office, and well, all I can say is it's been hilarious from an outside perspective, but if I was an American I would be incredibly worried. Now, there's one thing that I think needs to be addressed, because I've said prior to Trump's election, and I still maintain this, that Trump, and if anyone wants a roadmap of what essentially Trump is going to do, you've got to look no further than former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, who reigned over one of the most corrupt governments they have ever had. And to this day, they are still having anti-corruption hearings over the things that went on at about, 10, probably 15 years later now. And it's still just unbelievable. But you look back, and the parallels are eerily similar. Here you have two billionaires who both ran for office under a simple premise. They basically said, hey, all the politicians around me are corrupt, they don't know how to run the country, I'm a businessman, I know how to make deals, look how great my business is. It's quite eerily terrifying. And of course, what happened? Well, he took office, he installed, stop me if this is sounding familiar, by the way, installed his, other millionaires and billionaires and special interest groups into powerful positions. He gave them favours. He cut taxes for the rich, raised them on lower middle class families. It's a blueprint of what Trump's doing. And if I were a Democrat, or even if I was voted for Trump and I was worried that he might be corrupt, here's what I would do, because this is something I don't think either party would be able to fight against. What I would call it is the No Dollar Trump Act. Basically, for as long as Trump is president, not one US taxpayer dollar goes to Trump's businesses, his family businesses, any known associates, any unknown associates, and he receives no federal income tax breaks for his businesses or anything like that. There must be an absolute safety zone that is not crossed, because if you look at, again, Berlusconi, he funneled money into his businesses, gave out massive favours. Here's the, corruption playbook. Basically, Berlusconi did everything in it. And he was a populist, exactly like Trump. He said what he needed to say to get elected. And he kept none of his promises, ignored the press, and it's... oh dear. But you see this constantly, of the parallels between the two, and you worry now what's going to happen down the line. I mean, I'm not that worried because I'm not a US citizen, I'm a UK citizen, so I've got the shit show that is Brexit to live through. You've only got possibly four or hopefully not 8 years to live through Trump. So, yeah. So to any Americans watching this, I would go and look up Silvio Berlusconi. I'd go and watch... I'm trying to remember what the documentary was called now. But there's a documentary all about Berlusconi and, the corruption that went on in the Italian government. You'd have to find a subtitled version of that because it's an Italian documentary. But, yeah, go watch it, and you'll start to see how probably that act of putting a bubble around Trump and making sure that no money goes into his businesses or family businesses or anything like that might be a good idea.